gonna always choose to be with you. Cause girl, don't you know? Girl, don't you know you're so beautiful? I wanna give all my love to you, girl. Not just tonight, but the rest of your life. I wanna be always here by your side. Girl, don't you know?
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Whitney here, and I'm back with the video. As you can tell by the title, today I'm going to be doing a story time about the time that I lost my virginity. Yes, I lost my virginity at 12. The title is correct. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, you guys, it started. I met this dude. We're going to call him E because his name started with E, so we're going to call him E. I was dating E since I was 10, you can say. But I mean, I say dating even though we were young, but I was going out even though we weren't going nowhere. Anyway, we was dating when I was 10, and I really liked him. We talked on the phone every day, but we never talked about sex. It was never at that moment, it was never a thing where I was pressured into it. So we talked on the phone every night. Then eventually it was getting to the point where he was riding his bike to come see me. And we were young back then, so we didn't have cars, of course. So he would ride his bike to come see me. And at that time, me being young and naive, I was like, oh man, he stayed like maybe 15 minutes away from me. So in a car, so on a bike, that's maybe an hour or so. So I was like, well, he's riding his bike all the way over here to see me. He must love me. So I thought. And so we did that for a while. And then my mom got to the point where she thought that we were doing too much. At this point, I'm 12. I'm sorry. But my mom got to the point where she thought that I was doing too much and that we were moving too fast and we were just doing too much for our age, which she was right. But still, I still wanted to see him, so I was willing to do whatever I had to do to see him. So I would sneak him in, and like when she would go to sleep, she would sleep with her door open, but I was very brave, so I would sneak out the front room door. I would leave it cracked a little bit after she go to sleep. So when all he would do was walk up to the door and say my name, and I would sleep in the front room on the couch, so I could hear him. And I would go to the door and we'd go outside and we'd just talk. Like at first, it was nothing sexual at all. And then until one night, I kind of figured that something was happening because this day he had started talking about doing things sexually. Even though I wasn't ready, I would just go with the conversation because I thought that, he would break up with me if I didn't. So this night, he snuck through my window. This night I slept in a room. And I have a twin sister, which I want to talk about her in other story times to come. But I had a twin sister. But this night she slept in the front room on the couch because I told her to go get on the couch. And me and my twin is like night and day. So she was like the good girl. I'm not saying that I was bad, but I was very sneaky. And that wasn't my sister at all. She was more into church and everything like that. She didn't want to be in trouble. But me, I didn't care. So anyway, I snuck him into the window, and we just watched movies at first, and it was nothing serious. But then all of a sudden, he asked me, did I want to have sex? And I said no. Then he said that what these guys used to say, if you love me, you'll do it. If you don't, then I'm going to get somebody else to do it. Now, me being the age I am now, I would have been like, bye, like, go get her. I'm not losing no sleep over you or her. But at that age, I was like, no, well, if I don't do it, then he's going to get somebody else to do it. So let me go ahead. So I agreed to go ahead and do it. We had sex. Honestly, even though I was young, I enjoyed it at 12. Even though I was young, that's not good to say, but I did. He knew what he was doing because he was 15. I was 12, so, and I wasn't his first. So fast forward, nobody knew. My parents didn't know. Nobody knew at the time. And then my mom took me to get a checkup because she she was like, she felt like I was really serious about the guy, so she wanted to put me on birth control. She said that she wasn't going for any of that, having kids too early. So she took me to the clinic, and they did the little, back then they was able to do pap smears to if you were under 25. Now I think you have to be 25 or 20 something to get it done, but I still get them done now. But I believe You don't have to get them done until you're 25, I think. I could be wrong, don't quote me. But anyway, she took me to the clinic, and they asked me, did I had sex before? And I don't know why doctors ask you this when your parents are in the room. Like, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I did. Like, I denied it. Like, no, I didn't do nothing. And so they just, at this time, they just gave me the birth control pills and condoms just in case. So this is the first time I went to the clinic. So fast forward, he was still coming over. We were still having sex. One night, do you guys remember those green generators that we used to sit on outside when we were kids? Well, I did. I don't know if you did, but it's like the green little box generators that people used to sit on. One night, my sister was in the room, and I kept thinking I was hearing my mom, so I decided to sneak out. Instead of having him come in the living room, I decided to sneak outside. But instead of being outside by our steps, we went in the back where the generator was, and we had sex on the generator. And it's right by my window in my bedroom. So my mom ended up getting up, and about the time me and him got through, he ended up leaving on his bike. I walked back around to the front of the building, and I saw my mom, my grandma, and my aunt. And they all had belts in their hand, and I got in so much trouble. At first I didn't know, like, how did they even know this happened? But what happened was my sister got scared, and she told my mom she heard something outside, but she didn't know that it was me. And so my mom they noticed that I wasn't in the house, so it was like, this girl done snuck out the house. Well, my mom didn't say this girl, I was all kind of names that night. But anyway, when I walked back to the front of the house, and they all had the belts in their hand, they whooped me right there. And my grandma ended up taking me to her house because my mom said she didn't want me there anymore that night. And so my grandma ended up whooping me again and talking to me and telling me, that I was wrong. And my mama ended up calling his mom, which his mom, I'm not going to say she didn't care, but she knew that he was having sex and he was out that late, and she knew that too, but she really wasn't, I believe she really wasn't that concerned. And mom took my phone, and they told me I wasn't able to talk to him anymore. And I was heartbroken because I was 12, and that was like my first love and my first person that I had sex with. And so his mom and my mom ended up taking me and him to the clinic, to make sure that we didn't have anything. Of course, I didn't have nothing because I'd never had sex before, but he got checked. He didn't have nothing. I got checked. I didn't have anything, to make sure that they got me the plan B and everything to make sure I won't get pregnant. And they did the pap smear. Y'all, let me tell y'all about this second time I went to the clinic. This time, my mom was in the room. She already knew I had sex. But we had a black nurse. This lady, when they was doing the pap smear, it was very painful. And, I was screaming, and because it hurted really, really bad. And then this lady had the nerve to look at me and say, you weren't screaming when you was having sex. Y'all, I could have slapped the spit out of her mouth. She made me so mad. And my mom was just over there agreeing with her, like, yeah, was you screaming then? Like, I started to be very disrespectful to both of them, but, I respect my elders, so I didn't. So, anyway, we left. I still, stayed on the birth control. And, again, I wasn't able to talk to him anymore. But, teenagers at that age, you're going to find a way. So, once my mom, when she took my phone, I noticed she used to hide it in her purse. So when she would go to the bathroom or go in the living room to cook or something, I would put my phone on, and I would call him or text him. And then I had a best friend. I'm going to call her. Anyway, I'm going to call her Kia, because everybody know that was my best friend. My best friend Kia, she was always my person that no matter what kind of trouble I was ever in, because she was the good girl. She was, no matter what kind of trouble I was ever in, she could always come over. It wasn't no, Whitney's grounded, you can't come over. Like, no. She could always come over my house anytime she wanted to. So when she would come over, I would use her phone to call him. So that's how I still stayed in touch with him. And he would still sneak over to see me, and we were still having sex. And how we end up splitting up is I met somebody else. And before that, me and him ended up splitting up because he kept cheating on me, and he finally came to me and told me that the only reason we had sex is because it was a bet. He was a guy in school that took a lot of girl virginities, and he just had this bet with everybody that he could keep taking multiple girls' virginity. And he told me that later on, and I was like, you know what? That was stupid of me. I learned from this. I will never put myself back in this situation again. And that situation really has taught me a lot throughout life now. I can still count on one hand how many sexual partners I have. I know I'm only 23, but reality is a lot of people in my age can't. He's taught me that I don't have to have sex with everyone. I don't have to be naive to a guy to love myself. I don't need to hear from a guy that I'm beautiful because I already know that I am myself. You don't have to tell me that. I just have more self-love now. I was very naive then, and it wasn't stemming from any daddy issues or nothing like that. It's just I was very self-conscious about my weight, but now I love my weight. I would like to be more healthier, but if I stay this size, get smaller, get bigger, whatever, I love me. So I'm happy with myself. And I still see E to this day. And the funny thing about it is he still inboxes me on Facebook. And when he sees me, he still walks up to me, give me a hug. And I'm like, I can't believe that and he's not really doing good with his life. So it's like, dang, what if we would have potentially had kids together? And that would have been, now I think about it, and it's like, that would have been my kid's father. And that's not something I want. Ladies, watch him, and when a man show you who he is, believe him the first time. And you don't have to have sex. Young girls especially, if you're not ready to being a teenager and having sex is not a good idea, because women, as us as women, we get our feelings invested. We're very emotional, and to them it's just sex, but to us it's never just sex. We care about that person, and when they hurt us, it hurt us bad. So young ladies, save yourselves. Like, if I could go back and tell my younger self something, is, oh, I'm gonna cry. It would to be to save myself and to know my worth, and that, I could have waited. It was nothing special to just go ahead and do it then. It would just be, to save myself. And I'm glad that I'm older to know, but I wish when I was younger, because I would go to teen groups where they would talk about saving yourself and sex, but I wasn't really paying attention then. It was just like, I heard them talking, but they don't know what they talking about. But in reality, they know what they talking about. Like, take it from me. Like, and it's girls my age that were 12 with me, and they had sex and they end up pregnant. So, or they end up catching diseases and stuff that they couldn't get rid of. It's not even worth it. It's not worth the emotional pain, the mental pain, the physical pain. It's not worth it. Like, you're so much more than that. You can be whatever you want to be. If a boy can't wait on you, he don't deserve you. If he can't wait, he's something special. Save yourself. Really save yourself to marriage. It's not even that important to have sex with somebody that possibly is having sex with everybody else. But I'm not going to keep rambling on. I just want to show that message and let everybody know, give you a story time to learn a little bit more about me. And I'm going to do more story times in the future. And comment down below what else you want to know. If you want to know more about my infertility journey, my endometriosis, whatever you want to know about, just comment down below and let me know. It's your girl Whitney again, and I will be back with another video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Turn on your notification bell, and I'm out. Peace.